A Swift Kick in the Ass, episode 164. Life is challenging and difficult. No one gets out alive. Time to suck it up, Buttercup. Get ready for a monster-sized boot aimed to help you get traction on personal change and get living. I am John Curran, your host. Join me as I share my journey, exploring the forces that motivate us to change and help us get through whatever life throws at us. A swift kick in the ass. Life on your terms. Hello and welcome to another Swift Kick in the Ass. I'm your host, John Curran. Today we're going to talk about hidden blessings in adversity. So, life tends to give us lessons, I think, that teach us how to have a better life, really. I really do believe that if we just avail ourselves to life, what I mean by that is open ourselves up to the possibility that there is a helping hand out there. I'm not a very religious person. I was raised Catholic, but I have not attended church in years. And honestly, I'm not sure what I believe anymore. I do believe in a higher power, but I'm also not so arrogant to think that maybe we aren't as special as we think we are, and religion is just something that man made up in the last few thousand of years, and it helped civilization prosper because we aren't all killing ourselves. We're thinking about, maybe there's an afterlife, and how we live our life right now matters, to the afterlife. But life does matter right here and right now. And what I've been learning through adversity, through my own adversity, is that when since I have a dream, and since I have a goal and a vision of the future in my mind that I'm kind of aiming for, subconsciously, I really do believe that my path is helping, is being formed. I'm walking this path, and I'm learning so much about myself. And in fact, I feel very much reconnected with a person that I used to be, but a part of myself that I had lost. Now, that I talk about my boat a lot. And this boat is almost 60 years old. It's a 1966 Bertram. And it was given to me by my dad. So it has a lot of sentimental value. But I'm making this boat my own, and I have to learn about this boat because even though I have some mechanical skills, I'm not a mechanic. And I had forgotten really that I had these mechanical skills. I think, once I got married and started having kids and I started running out of time, I kind of started making more money. I started feeling more comfortable with handing off the work that I used to do on my own cars to a mechanic. And I just don't have the time anymore to do it on my own, to do it myself. And I think I've got myself into this expectation that a mechanic's going to take care of all of my mechanical problems. Well, this boat does have mechanical issues, and I handed it off to a guy, and I lost 5 years out of it. I really didn't gain all that much from it, but I did gain a lot, and it actually brought me to right here where I am right now. and I'm so far ahead, or I guess I'm back to where I need to be, and I feel like I've kind of fulfilled a prophecy. I'm going to explain that in a minute. So I took my daughter out on the boat. I took my son out on the boat. We went out a few times, each time a little bit better than the first. But the last time I went out, the oil pressure dropped on the way back. I shut off the motor. We got towed back. I had a bilge full of oil. Turns out I didn't destroy the motor, which is great. But what I had to do is I had to pull out the motor because my oil pan was leaking, and there was nothing I could do with the engine installed that would fix it. So got to replace the oil pan. And while I'm doing that, I might as well check out other parts of the motor that I know are likely to fail because the motor's been sitting. And, I'm not mechanical, but I have some friends who are helping me and giving me insight, and I have YouTube. So I'm learning as I go. Now, this adversity that I have with the boat is a price that I pay for having a toy. If I didn't have the toy, I wouldn't have these problems. I wouldn't have these challenges. And that keeps me going, honestly, sometimes, because I think it really is such a blessing to have this boat, and I look forward to all the adventures that I'm going to have on it when I get these quirks worked out. I do plan on taking it to the Bahamas, and I have actually started lining up, talking to my friends about it down in Florida, and we're going to have a flotilla going over to Bimini. I think it's safer that way, and it'll be a hell of a lot of fun. So, I have an end goal. Not an end goal, but I have something I want to do with the boat. And it needs to be reliable and running, and, it needs to meet certain standards that I have. So, I don't look forward to these things that I have to do. I'm not really looking, I don't feel all that skilled, but it's something that I have to do, and that's that. That's just the way it is. So I pull out the motor, and I, figure out that my motor's not messed up, which is great news, and I'm ready to start ordering parts and putting it back together, which is not going to be as expensive as I thought. Just really my time, and clean it up, make it look all really nice, and just make it the best I can before I put it back in. But I'm also going to clean out the engine bay and make that all pretty, because right now it's just fiberglass. And that was something I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it because the motor was installed. The motor out, I start cleaning it up, and I'm looking around, and I notice I've got a little bit of rot in my transom. Now, you can't tell from the outside of the boat that there's a problem, but there's a problem. And it's not easily corrected, but it's correctable. It's fiberglass. I can repair it. And I'm honestly, when I see it, I got to take some more things apart. But I could see this as a tremendous pain and be stressed out by this work that I have to do, or I could just take it as what it is. It's a lesson. I need to feel secure about this boat. My boat has been taking on a little bit of water these last 2 times I took it out, and maybe the water's coming in that way. I think that is possible. So I got a little hole. I got to fix it. It's got to be done. No one's going to do it but me. And the silver lining in it is that I have an opportunity to take apart what I need to take apart and to get to it. And that's going to help me guarantee that everything is correct. And no mechanic is going to do that. No one's going to take the time that I'm going to take to make sure that everything is right, because people don't care about things unless it's their own, generally speaking. So, I could feel despair. This is going to cost me a lot of money. I could feel the frustration and the stress of doing this. And let me tell you, I have felt the stress and frustration of all of it. And what I have found out is that, what Tom Petty says is true. Most things I worry about never happen anyway. We need to investigate. We need to know things. But oftentimes we jump to conclusions without really recognizing that, this isn't necessarily real. I was thinking I was going to have to change out my crankshaft and the bearings and all this and basically rebuild the whole bottom end of the motor, which I was prepared to do if I have to do it. But I opened it up and you know what? I don't have to do that. So that's not a path I have to follow. I learned that, and I know with great confidence that that's true. So I can move on. And I'm going to get this boat, the engine back together. I'm going to have it looking really good. I'm going to have it painted. I'm going to paint it. But so it's going to be black with chrome trim. I'm going to have it looking really good. And I'm going to have it I'm going to run it before I put it back in. Make sure that everything is good. It's not leaking oil anymore. And then I'm going to start working on the transom, and I'm going to start making that engine compartment beautiful. This is something that I want to do, and I'm going to also paint it so that if oil drops or something, drops, I'll be able to find it easier. So it's not only going to look good, but it also serves a purpose. So, to me, these are hidden blessings, and I think it's quite remarkable, honestly. So much of our life depends on our perspective. And we can look at the world in from a framework of scarcity, meaning, everything is scarce and we have to be very prudent and wise with the use of our resources and know that things are scarce and they're hard to come by, and you're going to work and it's hard, or you just can't do it because it's scarce and it's hard to come by, and it's not possible. It's almost like a negative. It is a negative kind of outlook, and sometimes scarcity is real. Things can be scarce, but things are much more available now than ever before. Generally speaking, you can just go on Amazon and find anything that you want. It may not be the quality, may not be exactly what you want, but things have changed a lot. We live in a world now where things move quite quickly around the globe, and we're able to get goods and services like never before. I guess that's a hidden blessing of the global economy, that even though jobs and things do get taken out of our local areas and things change in our local areas because of the global economy, both good and bad. We can look at these as things that hurt us as negatives, or we can look at things as positives. So we can look at the world from a perspective of scarcity, but we can also look at the world as from a perspective of abundance. Now, abundance is where you have everything that you want and need, and it's at your fingertips. It's abundant. You don't really have to worry too much. It's pretty easy. Things are there for you if you need them. And this also kind of feeds into something I've learned from a friend of mine about the best. He always wants the best for himself. Even like belts, he wants the best belt. They all serve the same function. They hold your pants up. But, for some reason, one belt is better than the other. Now, I used to think differently than I did about the way my friend views the world about always wanting the best. For me, sometimes the best is just good enough. I mean, there's a saying, and Tommy used to say it, and good enough is sometimes. I'm totally blanking on what the old saying was, but sometimes good enough is good enough, and that's all you need. You don't need. Sometimes good enough is best, I guess, is what I'm saying. But we put pressure on ourselves to have it some other way because we think that it has to be that way. It doesn't have to be any certain way. And things can work in a number of different ways. So, when we try to manipulate the outcome and it's not really turning out as we planned, maybe there are some hidden blessings in this. Maybe it's, whatever the powers that be, the universe is trying to tell you something. But there's some hidden blessing in there. There's some lesson that you need to learn. And I keep coming back to this lesson for myself personally with my boat. It's been a huge character development tool for me, really. I've and I'm gonna share with you some Stoic wisdom because I want to just tell you that these thoughts are really nothing new. They go back to to the Greek and to the Roman times. So the Stoics were ancient philosophers, and they had really a interesting way of viewing adversity, a very deep way. So I know I'm going to mess up the names. I always do. But I guess that's my character flaw. Epictetus. Difficulties show a person's character. Therefore, when we meet them, we should always remember that they are sent by the gods as schoolmasters to us. Now, I kind of opened up this podcast saying I'm not really a religious person. So, the gods could be God, could be, a just one creator. It could be the universe. It could be however you view these things. That we know that there are forces larger than us, and there are things that we can't understand about this world. But if we can learn how to accept these things and these adversities that come our way, I think we're really well served. And that's what I hope that you get out of this episode, is that difficulties are part of life. We can't have everything easy. And if everything was easy, it'd be really, really boring, wouldn't it? We need to challenge ourselves and develop our character and our skills. And that makes for a much richer life, I think. This boat that I keep working on, Perseverance is its name. It is a personal goal of mine to get it all running, to understand how it works, and be the captain of the ship. But the ship is much more than a toy to me. It's a tool that's going to help bring my family and my friends together. We're going to go on adventures on this boat. We're going to take it out on the Chesapeake Bay. We're going to, I eventually want to take it to Bimini in the Bahamas. It's only 50 miles off the coast of Florida. It's something I want to do. I've been dreaming about it since I was a boy. I'm going to make it happen. You just watch me. but I have to go through, and I have to go through this process to strengthen myself and learn some skills that I don't have or don't believe that I have before I can get to where I need to go or where I want to go. So I'm going to use these adversities as stepping stones. I'm going to learn from them. And this next quote from Marcus Aurelius, who is a very famous Stoic, this is a very deep quote, and a lot of people maybe don't understand it, but I've talked about it on the podcast before. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action." So what stands in the way becomes the way. So I'm going to use the boat as an example. I was trying to take something part off. It was like 9 or 10 bolts. I got 9 bolts out. The 10th bolt was stripped. I needed to get that bolt off to complete the task and move forward. Until I could take that bolt out, I screwed. I couldn't do anything. I was stopped in my tracks. I worked on that single bolt for several hours. Little did I know that there's an actual extraction tool that would have helped me and do it in just minutes. I didn't know that. I invested my time. I got it out the old-fashioned way with chisel and hammer and finally got it out. It's, this is down in the bilge of the boat too, where I'm actually looking at it through a mirror because it's on the underside of the motor. So I know about challenges and adversity. I put myself in these situations, unfortunately, sometimes, but it's okay. So I knew that, the impediment, which was to action, the action that I was trying to do was take that part off. But what was standing in the way was this bolt that was rounded out. I couldn't take off the bolt. But it stood in the way, but it was the way. It was the way out. I had to address that issue so I could move forward. And that's exactly what I did. And what I learned, Seneca talks about difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. So when you exercise, go to the gym or you walk or whatever you do, for exercise, you are strengthening your body, right? You have to keep moving, stretching. It's amazing what stretching does. Just the simple act of stretching, general, easy stretching does wonders for the body. Weightlifting, playing games, running, walking, dancing. Just go out there, keep moving. It's going to help you. And when things get challenging, recognize that it's going to strengthen your character. It's going to strengthen your body. It's going to strengthen your mind. I am working on my towards my second degree black belt in mixed martial arts, and I can tell you that in the 4 or 5 years that I've been doing martial arts, it has strengthened my mind, body, and spirit. Amazing. I did not think I was going to make it. In fact, one of the other black belts who just became a 5th degree black belt, he's a master now, he was saying that when I started, I came in all kind of hunched over like an old man and was like moving like a 70-year-old. In fact, the Grandmaster didn't think I was going to make it. But I did make it, and I'm working towards my second degree now. And so he also said that I'm no longer moving like a 70-year-old. I move like a 30-year-old, and I'm almost 60. So I'm feeling pretty good. In fact, I know that how I used to feel, and I was in a lot of pain and sore and just did not feel good. I have regained all of that. It's taken a team of professionals, physical therapists, martial arts training, masseuse, doctors, a variety of different doctors to help me get to where I am today. I'm thankful for all of them, but I couldn't have done it just by myself. I had to do it, but I couldn't do it by myself. And I'm thankful for those people who helped me get there. Now, you have your own life and you have your own challenges, and I hopefully you can relate. But I need to close out this podcast. I just want to give you some practical tips to maybe help you find the silver lining or these hidden blessings in your own challenges. One is kind of recognize your perspective and try to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or what is life trying to teach me? Sometimes I just find I just have to surrender to the situation. Kind of throw my hands up, and I literally have done this, and just say, I surrender, I give up. You have your way. To whatever the force of nature that guides this universe, whatever's behind all of this, whatever's behind your adversity. Just surrender to it sometimes and ask yourself what you can learn. We've talked about embracing change, talking about embracing the suck. Some things just suck. There's no way about it. It's the way it is. I felt that way when Tommy died. Felt that way when my dad died. I'm feeling that way when I have to take a motor out of a boat, or I have to do all this work that I don't really want to do, or I have to pay a big bill to help my daughter get through college, or to pay for my daughter's college. We do these things. We have these challenges that we must face. And if we don't face them, if we keep trying to run and avoid them, the problem is just going to grow. So face adversity. You will grow strong from it. You will grow stronger each and every time that you do. If you survive it, of course. But we're going to survive everything until we don't. So be thankful for what you have. And we have a lot to be thankful for. Even in rough times, things could be so much worse. I have some health issues, but I could complain about them, but they're really not that bad. And I'm not going to complain about them because I'm thankful that they could be so much worse. So I'm going to deal with my issues the best that I can, and recognize that that's best for me. It's not what anyone else thinks that determines what's best for me. I determine that. So best might be good enough for somebody else, not good enough for others. There's no right or wrong in best. It's an opinion, just like so much of life. And this is your life, and this is my opinion. But you need to take your own opinion and apply it to your own life. And recognize that you should seek support if you feel you need to. In fact, you should probably seek support even if you don't feel like you really need to. Not to be dependent on other people. Don't let that stop you. But it's good to have input from others who may know something a little bit more than you, or a lot more than you. It's okay to seek professional guidance. We can't expect to know everything. But we should keep trying to better ourselves and keep kicking ourselves in the ass to live a better life and live the best that we can with the time that we have. So I'm going to end today's episode, that is. Thank you for tuning in to A Swift Kick in the Ass. Please visit the website. Got a little store out there. Got some ebooks that will help you with some very good things, I think. It's not meant to be expensive, just meant to get the information out there. But visit the website. It's always changing. Check out the other episodes. Please leave comments. Have a YouTube site. Have Twitter or X. Reach out to me, John at aswiftkickintheass.com. Remember that every challenge holds the seed of an equal or greater benefit. So stay resilient, keep growing, and we'll see you next time. Peace. This marks the end of another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass, placing it directly in the can. As much as I like to talk, even I have my limits. It's time to go. Catch me on the next show. For better or worse, whether you like us or not, please leave comments wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Visit our home on the interweb. I think you can leave me a voicemail there. You can also email me at john@aswiftkickintheass.com. It's been my extreme pleasure. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you got your ass moving. Until then, until the next time, I'm out of here. Peace.